Sure. Yeah. Go.
Oh, it's me.
Welcome to the Foreign Elephants podcast. I'm your host, Drigo, and with me I have a couple of friends. We're talking about something dastardly that has happened in the media. Before we get to that, in front of me I have Kylo Ren, ambassador, Matt.
Hi, how's everyone doing? Today we're talking about the best Star Wars film ever made.
Of course, The Last Jedi. Fuck.
No.
And to his left we have Baby Yoda's dad, Chewie.
I'm the Mandalorian.
Oh, fine. He's Mandalorian. Yeah, you're
Mandalorian talks like that? I'm the Mandalorian. I didn't know the Mandalorian was Michael Jackson.
You raped her.
Oh,
Her
come
children.
on.
No. I don't like that.
And in front of him, he's no longer Gamer of the Year. He's Anakin Skywalker. It's Hill.
Me? Oh, I just kissed Padme Amidala on the
You
lips.
fucked Padme.
Yep.
Gave her a baby.
She's like 10 years older than me. It's
Yeah,
totally
that's
consensual.
not weird at all,
Ace to
George.
smash the homies.
No one.
Look at that. Secret
look
wedding.
At that. Look at that. We're watching footage of the prequels in the background because those are the best movies, obviously. But today we're talking about the greatest Star Wars film ever created, The Rise of Skywalker.
Woo!
Oh, there's so much to talk about. First of all, I just want to ask you guys, comparatively, what's your favorite trilogy right now?
The original?
Probably,
What?
obviously originals.
The
but besides
OG.
originals, which one's your favorite? The prequels or the sequels?
I like the sequels.
I like the prequels more.
I'm gonna say
actually, I'm not
prequels.
sure.
I
I'm
like the
kind of at a-
spin-offs more.
The
That's
Solo
my
Rogue
favorite.
One?
That's
There's
my favorite
only-
trilogy so far. The
There's only
spin-offs.
two?
Yeah,
there
I
two?
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the.
there was supposed to be a
prequels.
Kenobi.
Can I
movie.
say the animated series?
That's a good choice.
The
That's a
Clone
good
Wars is the
choice.
best
We
one.
can talk about
The
that
one
for
in
a while.
2000.
Not Rebels. Fuck Rebels.
The one in
No,
2003
the
or the
Clone
actual Clone
Wars,
Wars?
yeah.
Okay,
Clone, not
that
Clone
Dave
Wars.
Filoni Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars
Star
is
the
pretty
Clone
good, too.
Wars.
Oh,
Star Clone Wars.
This is like Star and
the
then
one
the
in
Clone
between
Wars.
episode,
Oh yeah.
the animated one or the drawn one?
What?
You ever see the drawn
Animated
one?
one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm
Adventure,
talking
Galaxy's Adventure.
No, the original one.
No.
No, the original one's called Star Wars Clone Wars.
Yeah,
The
that's
new
one
one that
they
we
did.
watched is Star Wars The Clone Wars.
They made the drawn one in between episode 2 and 3, so that way they would make it canon, and it was until the Clone
And they
Wars came out.
actually, in that one, they actually explain why what's his name?
Grievous has cough.
Yeah, has cough.
Has cough.
What does he have
Retarded.
cough?
Because Mace Windu
Because Mace
fucked his
Windu
ass up.
basically chokes him.
He's the reason why his his
Mhm.
chest all crumpled up because
Oh,
he
man, I
fucking.
love-
fucking-
those are my
Cool.
favorite. I grew
Yeah.
up with those, and oh my god,
All right,
I
you
love them.
bunch of virgin.
Look, you saw that right now? Ayla Secura just got fucking clapped. That's you. Bitch.
I didn't even know the name. That's impressive.
You're gay.
Yeah.
Fake Star
Anybody
Wars
who
fan.
knows anything besides the movies and maybe the cartoon, you're gay. Anyways. But we're gonna be talking about Rise of Skywalker. But do you guys have any like initial thoughts, like just off the bat? What's the one thing, if you can say about this movie straight to somebody, what would you say?
Rushed.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, rushed.
Yeah. If
That-
you've
yeah.
seen Game of Thrones, I would.
The
call
last
it,
season
what,
is like
what,
this.
What they pulled.
It is.
They pulled a Diffus and Dudus. Like,
Have you seen season 8?
D&D,
Have
like,
you seen season 8? There you go.
where the last season of Game of Thrones was rushed and the
Mhm.
ending was okay.
It was alright.
Yeah.
But
and
it-
just
it's
it's
not.
like the Star Wars movie.
It could have been better if someone else had written it. I guess.
Yeah.
I blame Ryan Johnson.
I have two.
Everyone
I have
does.
two things to say. I have two. At the end of the day, I think I have two ratings. The first one is the one that it probably deserves as a movie by itself, which is like a low 4, because
Damn.
it's just there's
And
way too
that's-
many things that are problematic with it. It's just not
There's a
good
bunch
movie.
of plot holes.
Too many
It's
plot holes,
rushed.
way too much exposition halfway into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But here's the other thing. I gave it. You asked me, I gave it like a 7.5 or an 8 because of this
Star Wars
fucker.
fan?
This fucker named Ryan Johnson.
Oh.
And he made the movie before this where he had taken Abrams's plan, threw it out the window, went outside and pissed on it.
Mhm.
And then it was just like, okay, here you go. I gave you nothing.
Uh-huh.
So like where we came from with Last Jedi, I don't think Abrams had a lot to work with.
No.
He
Which is why he
basically
had to
went
do
out
so
and
much.
had to like clean it with Clorox and Windex, and even then it still had a little bit of shit
Listen,
stains.
you can
Yeah.
polish shit however much you want. It's still shit. Like,
Yeah.
but I think the way Hill said it in the chat puts it best.
What did I
He
say?
tried the hell.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
This
no, yeah,
movie
he
tried
did.
his ass off.
Yeah,
And
he tried.
honestly, there's some small things there's a lot of like small and big things that are problematic with it.
Mhm.
One thing that they talked about that I didn't have a problem with was pacing.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't.
Really?
I didn't. Here's
Oh
the
my
thing.
God.
Not because
Oh, no.
not because I know it's
Fight.
not because I know it's not because it's good. No, it's too fast. I know that for a fact. But for me, pacing never really phases me.
No.
But I can see why it's problematic.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Mhm.
it's so apparent. We have new characters coming left and right that
Yeah.
we've never seen before in
Yup.
our lives.
What? The Poe
Favorite-
Dameron is underdeveloped character? Zori Bliss.
Poe
real?
Dameron has no background.
Holy
Used to
shit.
be a spy smuggler. There you go.
Jesus.
I like that one character,
Well,
Babu
honestly,
Freak.
I agree with Drigo because pacing is like it doesn't phase me because I understand like especially coming into this movie the pacing would be a problem.
Oh yeah.
You know,
for
if
sure.
anything,
even
you
though
want
it's a
more
long ass
content.
movie.
Exactly. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that Abrams tried to do. He saw the fact that they had nothing to work with,
Mhm.
and was like, "Okay, let's write an entire finisher
Yeah.
and midsection, basically." And
Yeah.
he basically wrote a 5-minute movie into a 2.5 hour
Yeah.
Mhm.
segment, and
So,
that's
because I think if Abrams was allowed all three movies, what Ryan Johnson focused on in The Last Jedi wasn't what Abrams would have done. So Ryan Johnson focused on the wrong things. Instead of, like, let's say Abrams explained, like, Poe Dameron's backstory, or he did, just something else that was in the Rise of Skywalker.
Mhm.
And then he had to cram all that crap, what he would, like Rodrigo said, 2 movies, he had to put into 1.
Mhm.
Which is what made it, like, so rushed. Which I still liked it.
Yeah.
But just besides some of the, like, the plot things in there, which is like, oh, this could have been done better.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, I think I would give it like a 7.5. Like, it was a pretty
Yeah.
good movie.
I love. I was watching this one guy Star Wars theory, and he was talking about how he actually really liked this movie because it was kind of a dick slap to Last Jedi.
Yeah.
It was
Definitely.
just
Oh,
a straight up like cock slap.
The day after it came out on Twitter, all I saw was like, man, J.J. Abrams really just this whole movie is just a big middle finger to Ryan Johnson and what he tried to accomplish. Like
Keg.
they reverted on so many things that Ryan Johnson tried to create.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
It was
I think
hilarious. Just
J.J.
watching it.
Abrams said something that it was just so true. He said that nobody likes being told you don't matter. Nobody likes being told
True.
that this part of the story doesn't matter. The whole parents, him saying they're nobody.
Yeah.
Snoke is no one.
Yeah.
No one likes to hear that if they're set up as characters.
Mhm.
What if we saw Darth Vader and then like halfway into Empire, he just fucking dies?
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere. It's just like, you're telling me he didn't matter? He was no one?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's a crucial part of the story. The film is about Luke saving his dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't just do that. And what's it called? Since we lost Snoke and they kind of brought back her lineage, it's all jargled up and thrown into a humongous like smorgasbord of information.
I
in the
was
last film.
surprised that Rey was a Palpatine, though. That actually, what we
That was
Yeah.
an interesting.
That's a
subverted
good
my
plot
It was
expectations.
interesting.
That
I
was a
did
good
like
plot
that.
twist.
I liked the fact that they went with that.
Mhm.
And it's called. I believe Abrams when he said that was always the case.
Yeah.
I
And
don't believe Abrams when he says that they planned on bringing Palpatine the entire time.
yeah.
Mm.
When
Yeah.
Catherine Kennedy said that, and they were like, "Oh yeah, the whole time we planned on bringing back Palpatine," I was like, it sounds like a cop
I feel
out."
like it would have been
eat my
Snoke.
ass.
Snoke would have been
Yeah.
like what Palpatine was in this movie. But
But
then they're
Ryan
just like,
Johnson-
let's just say he
listen.
made him.
No,
Yeah.
this is the thing. Abrams had a whole script, right, for episode 9.
Mhm.
And then Ryan Johnson came out with his shit show. And then he looked through his script. He was like, fuck. He just crosses out Snoke's name. Just crosses out Snoke's name from
Fuck.
Palpatine. He's like, there you go. We fixed it. We saved the day.
Wait, I don't get that part.
What
What?
part?
Palpatine created Snoke? Like, I was like, wait.
Yeah,
I
you
don't-
didn't see like
Bruh,
Snoke
no,
in like
no,
the,
legit
the
a
glass
throwaway line
tubes.
is like, "I created
Yeah.
Snoke,"
Yeah.
and
I'm
all
telling you,
the
there's a lot-
voices in your head, and that's it.
There's a lot of
That's
that.
it's in the
There's a
first
lot
5 minutes of
just,
the movie.
Oh, I did this.
Like,
I
they
did
just
that.
answer questions like, okay, that's
Yeah.
it. No,
I
that's it.
created
They're
Snoke.
like-
If you guys see when Kylo first is walking into like where Palpatine's at, there's like a
A
tube,
jar
like
of
a
smokes,
glass.
jar of Snokes.
Yeah, a jar, like, just-
I want to like eat him.
Ugh.
Yeah, dude.
Like
Like,
pickles.
don't you guys have jars of Snokes in your house? I mean, everyone has one nowadays.
Like I read when I was on Rotten Tomatoes and I saw the reviews the day before I went and watched the movie.
Yeah.
There was like, does it answer all the questions from the other 2 movies? It says yes, but would you like them? And the answer is no. So I thought like that was like a pretty good review. Another one, by the way,
That's
said
not
it
wrong.
was riddled with like foul words.
What?
I saw
What?
like one hell in there. Like
Yeah,
Hell?
foul words. Damn, I
Listen.
guess I didn't know we had a Christian movie reviewer.
This is PG-13. They're allowed one fuck.
They didn't say the.
I
No,
know.
he says get your ass. I remember he was telling C-3PO to get your ass over here, and that was it. That was the only word that I remember hearing. Like, oh, ass is canon in Star Wars.
I thought it was funny. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I thought that was really cool, you know? The only thing that was kind of like, there was moments in this that were so fucking forced. Like when C-3PO used to get wiped and he's just like, looking at my friends. You just met these fuckers. Don't even lie to me. Like,
one problem. Well, I didn't see it as a problem, but some people did. It was they said it was like Abrams tried to put too much nostalgia on there, which I didn't mind just because if it's the end of the saga.
Yeah,
Force Awakens was pure nostalgia as well.
When you only have 2.5 hours, you gotta fit as much fan service in there as you can to please the fans.
And they fucking did. They did it to the max. There was like,
are
we fanboys biased as fuck? Yes, sir. Like, I didn't hate it, and I understand why some people are bothered by it because it's just like, oh, you cheated. But given the situation, I don't mind. You know, there was a bunch of like moments in this movie that were very much fan service that are my praises. And actually, let's talk about that right now.
Okay.
So ignoring anything that's...
Do you want to do chronological fan?
Absolutely dastardly.
Babu freak.
That's not offensive. That's just to sell more toys. That's merchandising for all the little kids watching this. They're like, oh, Muppet.
What's Poet Everett's girlfriend, the chick?
Babu freak.
Zori, whatever.
Better get $6 that shit.
I need one of those.
Dude, I actually liked her getup though.
That was
aesthetic. She looked nice. It reminded me of a Destiny character.
I thought she was gonna take off like her helmet and stuff, but that means she still looks fucking dope, though. I wonder who they got to play her.
I forget who it was.
They didn't put one on like clap them cheeks or something.
He did. He was like
one kid. She was like,
no.
Damn. F.
She's like, beat it, fuck boy.
This movie did have more comedy than the other one.
Yeah, it did. It actually fit.
I actually liked it.
Like
it didn't feel cringy.
It did, but it was like forced. It was like, what the hell? Like, it was kind of weird.
I get it.
Like some of the jokes in there were like okay, but like for the majority, it was like, oh,
yeah,
actually funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible, honestly.
Okay,
like,
so
they use C-3PO for comedic relief, like at most times.
A lot of the jokes in fucking Last Jedi were so like childishly cheesy and stupid.
Like when Luke threw the lightsaber. Delete that scene.
I know that's funny. Like the one part where like what's it called? There's like literally a fart scene. Like that's the joke that Rian Johnson put in there. And then that gigantic fat chick like singing in that one scene, and then the drunkard on the gambling table. It was just like a lot of those jokes.
One thing I really wanted that I didn't like, I really liked the Canto Bite planet. I thought like it was like a very like James Bond kind of like Casino Royale kind of thing. But I think it just got ruined with Finn and Rose. And I really wanted to see more of Canto Bite.
Obviously. Yeah, and Canto Bite was a very interesting thing. It's just that a lot of people were kind of bothered by the fact that it was kind of a political statement.
Yeah, it was.
How?
Because basically it was like
writing out their lives, and the poor
they're all slaves and slaves.
People, and
how Rose gave a whole ass speech about it, and then they just left all the kids, and then
everybody just ass raped it on social media.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
I didn't know that.
She became just so like self-conscious and shit, and like let's just put that forward. I think everyone's always said that already, but like an actor is not a character, guys.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, and the way they're written is not their fault.
Yeah, it's not their fault that they get a shitty script. Like,
what you think they shouldn't take the script?
Some acting was a little like I don't think the guy who plays Poe Dameron. I don't think Oscar Isaac is.
Oscar Isaac's amazing. What are you talking about?
You don't like him?
I just don't feel like I got that satisfaction out of what a character would do. I don't know. He was good. It could have been better. You know.
Oh yeah, he wasn't really given much to work with. He was just given like
would you
a
see
one-sided
a
character script.
I
would. Yeah, it'd be interesting for him and for Ben Solo.
I don't want to see like a Spice Runner kind of.
That'd be cool.
I think that's what he used to be. He is essentially the Han Solo of this.
Yeah.
Another praise. Han Solo. Fucking came out of nowhere.
Can I talk about this scene?
Actually,
I wrote this down because I want to talk about this. I thought that scene was such a good parallel with the first one.
Yeah.
It's like exactly the same. You know, he's putting his hand on
words,
Kylo Ren's face, and I was like, from that, I'm like, oh, what is he gonna do? Like, he's gonna stab him because that's what he did.
Stab him again.
Me too.
Yeah.
And then he throws his lightsaber on him. Like in the theater, I was like, oh, that's such a beautiful scene.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Actually really
and I think
nice.
that was perfectly put together.
It was.
And that was probably one of the best scenes of the whole film because Rian Johnson. One of the guys I watch was talking about how that scene really tells you the difficulty it is when it comes to switching sides, not just to the dark side. It's the same amount of emotion as switching to the light. You know, he wasn't as easy as, oh, you're right, I have to go back to being good. It was like he needed this moment of forgiveness to himself by his father, you know, because he's not actually there. He's not a Force ghost because he's not blue, obviously, and he's not Jedi.
He's not blue.
Listen, visual cues. This is obviously some sort of figment of his imagination, and the fact that he does this to forgive himself is absolutely perfect. Because if his dad can forgive him, this is what he says. If his dad forgives him, then we can forgive him too.
Yeah.
You know, and it's perfect. I think that was a really well put together scene.
So what other like nostalgia did you guys get from this?
Oh, fan service.
Yeah.
Oh,
When Luke comes out, the next one.
Oh yeah,
Literally the next scene when Luke comes out and he gives Rey the speech, and basically like he lifts up the X-wing just like Yoda did in Dagobah.
Beautiful
and then
fan service.
and then there's just like a
Beautiful fan
5-second shot of just Luke smiling with the Force. I was like, that's like one of the biggest fan service things. Like it's just like the 5 seconds are just given for all the people cheering their asses off in the premiere. Like I could totally get that. Like I was like, damn, like it was interesting because Kylo has his scene with his dad, and then Rey has her scene
With
literally
her dad,
a minute after with her trainer, her master, and all that. And I was like, wow, that's really
Cute.
it's a cool like parallel how they like both meet in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was an interesting.
It's really
point.
nice. Like it's perfect, honestly. Also, the beginning of the scene is literally a fuck you to Ryan Johnson,
Yeah, true.
where she throws the
She throws a
Oh,
lightsaber and he
yes.
cates it.
Yeah.
he catches it. He's like,
What are you doing here?
a lightsaber is a weapon that deserves respect. It's hardcore, just like middle fingering Ryan
That shit was
Johnson.
funny.
And it was just like, oh my god, this guy is just not holding back.
Props to Abrams though. He did really good on this film.
Yeah, he did as much as he could.
I think we
honestly.
skipped over a piece of fan service. I mean, I guess if you guys aren't really like, I mean, it's like a little tiny piece. But when Lando first appears, like, you think that was forced at all? Like,
Allah said that he didn't understand why he was
when
there.
I saw
Yeah,
that,
I was
when I
gonna
saw
bring
that, I'm
that
like,
up.
oh, another like fucking side character.
yeah, I
that's
thought it was
just
gonna be
get him out.
the other chick that they announced, his daughter. The what's her face?
I thought it was gonna be
Lupita Nyong'o.
The
Is
one
that-
that's like a stormtrooper
Oh
too.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
thought
one
it was
who's,
gonna be the pirate. I forget his name.
Hondo Ohnaka?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be him. I was
That would
like,
have
oh,
been
let's make
badass.
this guy.
Honestly, that would have been sick.
And then it's like, hey, how you do, baby?
I know.
boo?
He's still trying to fuck Leia after like what?
Of
30
course
years?
he is.
My man. My man.
Yeah, lay it for me.
Send Leia my love.
Yeah, I was like,
No,
damn.
but when he popped out, I was like, "Yo, that's Lando." Because when he pops out and he shoots the stormtrooper in the eye with the crossbow, I was like,
knew.
Everyone knew.
I was like, "Oh shit!" No, well, first I feel like most people didn't know, and then I caught
I did,
on
yeah.
because of after watching Solo, the story where he like basically he's a pimp and he dresses all nice.
Oh,
but
yeah.
when I was like noticing his clothes, he had like a scarf and it like looked kind of nice. I was like, I don't know, this guy kind of has some swag on him. I'm pretty sure it's it's Lando.
As
and
soon
then
as
he
I
took off
saw
helmet, and I
the
was
getup
like,
he was in, it was super duper Return of the Jedi.
yeah,
When he's in disguise,
uh-huh,
and that's literally what they were going for. I think, obviously.
yeah,
He isn't exactly a crucial character in the movie,
No.
but he does bring in the citizen
cavalry.
fleet,
Yep.
the
Yeah.
cavalry, and that's pretty much what he's
Can
for
we
in the
talk
movie.
about that? I thought that was one of the only plot things that really bugged me.
Which
so
one?
you know how
when
in
they
the,
come out of everywhere.
in the Last
Really? I thought that
Jedi,
was kind of cool.
it's like 3 dreadnoughts with Snoke's ship,
Yeah,
and literally everyone they sent out the distress signal. No one shows up.
everyone's like, nah, not this time.
And then, and then this time, there's how many dreadnoughts,
There's
and it's
like a million?
Palpatine, and they're like, what about now?
Yeah.
It's-
It's like, oh, you're telling me Lando showed up, the most crucial character
you
from
know,
the
I
Last
want to,
Jedi?
I want to
Let's go.
believe, I want to believe that Lando was like, hey, everybody, come on, let's just
Yeah.
go. And like, I
I feel
want
like
to
he
believe
used the
that Lando
swag
did
on
that.
him, like all the resistance fighters are
He
led
probably
by
called
women,
in a bunch of favors.
by women, and he's just like, "Hey, what's up, guys? Fight with me, and then we'll talk."
Yeah.
But when it came to plot holes, or not really a hole, I think that just really like, I don't know.
Oh, there's one
I
plot
didn't
hole
like
that's
that.
humongous that we should talk about later on.
The Death Star?
No. It's
Really?
one thing
That's not
it's
the big
one
one?
thing you guys will probably be okay
The
with.
Star
that
Destroyers?
me and my brother were just like, no, that's just not.
Is
But,
that what
that
I'm
was the
thinking?
Death
it
Star.
is?
It probably is, but here's the thing: one of the final, like, really big, one of the other pieces of fan service that I think tops everything in this film is when she's on the ground looking up to the stars, and all of a sudden she hears
All
the
the
voices
voices?
of all the Jedi.
Oh yeah, that was my
That was cool.
fan service.
Yeah, and I love that. No, I love that.
Oh.
I lost my shit when I heard Qui-Gon and
Me
then
too.
and then Anakin. I'm like, oh shit, the guy Hayden
There
Christensen.
is so
fucking
many
Liam Neeson
voices. I listed in the chat. Like, did all you guys hear that the first go or no?
Not all of them.
No,
No?
of course not.
Okay.
After I heard
Two of
Qui-Gon and
them-
Anakin, I just lost
Two
it.
of
heard
them were like
everybody.
the girl Jedi's besides Ahsoka, the ones I don't really know.
Luminara and Dooley and...
There was some. There
And,
were
like, all
there were
the
like
I think it was
Jedi
Ayla Secura,
who
too.
were irrelevant.
The-
They were
Yeah,
Rebels
everyone from
one.
Rebels was in there. Ahsoka,
Okay.
Ahsoka, I did
Kanan,
hear.
Who are
or
they?
Kanan.
Every Jedi who ever lived lives in you. Qui-Gon. These
Yeah.
are your final steps, Rey. Rise and take them, Obi-Wan.
Anakin.
And I love it because they brought
They have Alec Guinness.
Alec Guinness and Edward McGregor.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had old Obi-Wan, new
And
Obi-Wan,
original-
Christian
original-
Haydenson,
Wow.
Mace
Christian
Windu,
Haydenson, bring back
Ayla
the
Secura,
balance.
Luminara and Dooley,
Luminara, the light. find your light.
Ahsoka, Kanan.
That one chick who died in episode 3 after 5 seconds with the troopers.
Yeah, Ayla Secura.
Yeah, right.
The blue
That's
one?
what I was like. I don't know.
The
that
one,
one.
tentacle girl. Yeah, I don't know why they brought her.
Some black chick. I don't know who they.
Oh yeah, that's the one that dies on the speeders from Commander Neo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I forget her name.
Then
It's
there's
super hard to
Luke,
pronounce.
then Yoda,
Yep,
Leia,
yep.
and then obviously.
Wait, Leia.
Yeah, Leia speaks.
Oh, I
She's
didn't
a
catch
Force
that.
ghost.
I heard her.
Yeah,
forget that one.
she's dead.
But
Oh,
when
I know
the-
she was dead.
How did Ahsoka die though?
We don't
It's not
actually
explained in
know.
Rebels.
I feel like they'll explain
Basically,
it.
Rebels ends at a cliffhanger.
I haven't, don't spoil. I'll watch it. I'll
Rebels
watch
kind
I
of
still need to watch
Rebels
Rebels.
kind of breaks
it. I
Star
still need to
Wars.
finish Clone Wars. I'm
with
not
the
done.
It kinda
whole
does.
Time
Wait, what?
stuff.
Sorry?
The
There's
time
some
stuff.
time stuff.
Oh yeah, there's some. Yeah, there is. Yeah, I
And
remember.
that kind of breaks.
They
Star
explore
Wars.
the Force more, like kind of how like George
Way
Lucas
more
wanted
in
to.
depth,
It's
and
like
it's very crazy.
they go into like a place between worlds that you can come in and out of with using the Force.
and it's through time.
Yeah, it's through time.
Oh.
So they'll go back in time. He's like, oh, there's a point where he wants to save somebody that he cares about, and they're like, nah, if you do that, you'll break time and all that he died for, and blah 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 blah. And so it's like, yeah, they do that. It's really.
It's very,
I was
yeah.
like, what the hell? It was crazy. So that's how it's so
I'm
good.
pretty sure they just leave it at that, right? They never go back to it again.
No, but basically the idea is that they do, so that way they can go find, the
And
guy.
that's how they broke Star Wars.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Didn't Ryan Johnson break Lightspeed?
Yes, he did.
J.J. Abrams broke Lightspeed. They
with the
introduced a
lights,
new thing, the Lightspeed skipping.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Dude.
fucking dope. I like that a lot.
That was
You
insane.
skipped the Falcon.
You know-
I didn't
Yeah.
have a choice.
Something I really liked in this movie was Rey's lightsaber at the end.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought that shit looked
The
so
orange one?
badass.
The
Yeah.
twisting.
I thought it was yellow one. Is it
No,
was
it's
yellow.
orange, yellowy.
Orange, yellow. Yeah.
It was like gold with like the black handle.
Yeah,
Like I
it
thought
looked
that
bad.
shit it would look really badass.
What do you think about that part when they asked her like, "Oh, who is she?" She's like, "Oh, I'm Rey
On the lights.
Skywalker."
Yeah, that was
half
kind
the
What do
of.
you think
people
about
liked it.
Yeah.
Other half the people were
Kinda
like,
cringy.
I did find it a
So-
little cringe.
Yeah.
it was so
It was super
bad.
called for. And then that was the last piece of the fan service where Leia and Luke are all CGI.
Oh, yeah.
Leia
I
CGI.
would've-
Oh, that reminds.
I
I
would
read
have
something
liked
else.
to have seen like what's his name, Hayden Christensen and all the Jedi with him too. That would've been
Honestly,
pretty
Me
cool.
too.
My friend, when I went to go see it with my friend, they were tripping the hell out. They're like, "Why didn't they show all the Skywalkers? Like, they
Mhm.
could have showed everybody there."
that would have been beautiful.
Every
yeah.
like Force Ghost, that would have
Yeah.
been sexy.
Yeah,
would've been
Me and
fire.
Anthony, before we saw the movie, we were in a party and we were in like,
Getting
well, she's
lit.
gonna say she's Rey Skywalker. I bet
Uh-huh.
you that line's in the movie.
Yeah.
And we go watch the movie the next day. Rey Skywalker. Like half the theater was like, yeah, and then half was like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just quiet.
Because
Yeah.
like here's the thing, it wouldn't have been way more cool and more story oriented if she had accepted that she was a Palpatine and changed the name as something good.
I didn't
Yeah,
like
it
the
was a good
fact-
point. It was like interesting, but like it's like writing something down on paper that looks good on paper, but it's like communism, where you have it down on paper,
What?
it seems good, but then when you use it in real life, it's like, oh, I don't know about that.
That's a cool example. I'm gonna use that one.
What I didn't like was the fact that she lived. Surprisingly, I thought it was gonna be a whole Kylo Ren kind
I
of
thought
thing.
that was
Redemption?
I thought it was
cool.
gonna be a Kylo
Out
Ren
of nowhere,
redemption.
Kylo just gets up because I think I think this film shows you once and for all that Kylo is actually way more powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And a
'cause
better character.
He almost won against her if Leia hadn't interfered.
He was basically
And,
the next
you know.
Palpatine. He almost masterminded everything.
Yeah, he was fucking
He
amazing.
Was,
yeah.
He was screwing over his bosses that were trying to screw him over.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was even said like when he meets Rey, he's like, oh, what are you gonna do? He's like, oh, don't worry, I have my own plans for Palpatine. And I was like, oh shit, this dude's gonna kill him too. Like he doesn't care. Like
No, he just wants to,
I
Yeah.
thought that scene. I was like, oh, I'm like he's gonna save her and they're both gonna live or whatever.
Oh yeah, I saw him.
And
like,
then
going
and
to
then they
save her,
kissed, which by the way was so
So
forced.
fucking weird.
Oh,
yeah, so forced.
Everyone
Oh,
hated
God.
that.
And
Oh,
then
everyone
and then
did,
Hill
yeah.
was like, "That wasn't awkward." I'm like, "You have not seen this movie, have you?" Who? Hill, you were like, "That wasn't awkward."
It
at
even
all.
it even looked like they looked uncomfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
both,
I wish
like
that was
Daisy
me.
Ridley
I
and
wanna
Adam
kiss
Driver
Daisy
knew that
Ridley.
they'd like.
Honestly, yes, but like, here's the thing: every single step of the way that they've talked to each other and like communicated, there has never been a moment where I'm like, they should fuck. That's never that's never been a thing.
Okay. So I'm the only one.
I'm not a.
I didn't think so.
Listen, on attractiveness maybe, but the thing is, there was no chemistry because the only connection they had that was love was trying to save him, bring him to the light. It wasn't I'm attracted to this dude. That's why at the very end where he like just when she out of nowhere just kisses him and he dies. I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, he died.
That
I
was
forgot.
weird. But I thought that was a really nice scene, how he was so strong that he was able to not die falling out of a fucking pit.
Yeah.
Come out, save her, and risk his own life.
You should know in Star Wars, if you fall down a pit, you're not dead.
Except for Mace Windu.
Except for Solo.
Except
and
for
Mace Windu.
And Darth Maul.
Darth Maul's alive. He came back.
I know. But,
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
Darth
you're
Maul's
right.
alive.
Never mind,
Yeah.
yeah. Mace Windu's dead. Confirmed.
Is he confirmed dead?
Yeah, it's been confirmed.
It's already been
What?
confirmed,
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, he talks to Rey.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, wait a minute. I thought they said that he might be still alive.
Jedi,
they're gonna kill me.
Kill that motherfucker.
No, because
I'm sorry. That was my fault. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I'm so dumb.
No, that's
Also, I was talking to Anthony. He hasn't seen the prequels yet. He's like, "How cool would it be if they put Samuel L. Jackson in a Star Wars movie?" I'm like, "Say your line. I'm gonna smack you right now."
He never saw the prequels?
He hasn't seen the prequels.
Is he
he's
like,
missing out.
he's only seen the original and the new ones?
Here's
Yeah,
Or
the
no?
thing
I'm
with
gonna
the
smack
prequels.
this
The
guy.
prequels at the
Yeah.
very
Well, we're
least.
beating him up at the.
Yeah, we're jumping him.
Do Mandalorians?
Mandalorian.
What's it called? Yeah, but that final kiss was very forced.
I
out of
don't
nowhere.
like that. That's that scene was.
But I did like the fact that Ben was really powerful enough to save her. You know. That being said, let's talk about broken parts of the Force. So Force healing.
No, but Baby Yoda could do it.
I love how they released the episode first.
Oh yeah,
That was
on
smart.
Wednesday.
I didn't know why watching the movie, and then I watched the episode afterwards.
I thought it was because I got the email and Disney Plus sent me like, "Oh, it's coming out on Wednesday," and they're like, "Stay for a special surprise." It was just a preview, and then I watched it, and I thought it was just because they didn't want both to release on the same day.
No, it's a smart move. What they wanted you to see was that Force healing was a thing.
It's canon.
in the movie and film universe. Because I know people always talk about, oh yeah, that was in the games.
That was me.
In games, you need a healing mechanic, of course. So a lot of the things you do in that game is not viable. You know, what matters most to people is going to be the films. Besides the films, maybe the comics as well. You know. But what's called, if you haven't seen the films, people will get mad because they're just like, that's never been done before, and that doesn't make sense to be done before. That being said, this whole Force healing is way more OP than using Lightspeed as a weapon, and it breaks Force. Like at this point, it doesn't matter when somebody gets hurt, you can just Force.
Yeah.
Damn, I want to be a Jedi now.
I know, right? And that was one of the
purpose is just to
that was one of the game breaking things of this movie. I'm just like, this is.
People didn't like it, and there was a bunch of arguments. Like everyone just pointed back to episode 3 where Palpatine's like, "Oh yeah,
yeah." He talks about how you could do it. Yeah, never happened, but
yeah."
In that case, why can't you just why couldn't he just save Padme? You know, like by using.
Oh yeah,
because he never taught him.
Oh,
true. He never taught him, but Rey never
Who taught Rey?
Yeah, who taught Rey?
True. I mean,
No,
I
she
guess.
learned
She
everything. Master Yoda
If you're
said,
just that
"There
strong,
is nothing
then-
in those books that girl does not know."
That's the thing. That's one thing the guy, the reviewer, was talking about. How he said like, there's a lot of things she does that no one's ever shown her to learn. Like in the episode 7, she does the whole, the Force mind trick.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's never seen that before. How'd she know that you do that? And then she does the healing. She's never seen that before. How did
Because
she
she
know to
read
do
the
that?
books.
And that's the one thing I could think of. That's the only thing I could think of.
Secret
The
text.
books somehow showed her that. That being said, I can excuse healing. What I can't excuse is this weird ass teleportation that's going on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, didn't
That's the one thing my brother was like, no.
didn't Snoke connect like the idea like they're connected by mind like with the Force or something?
Yeah,
like
the
that?
mind. But all of a sudden, he grabbed a whole ass fucking necklace from her.
Yeah, but they also showed in the Last Jedi. Like, remember when she's on the beach and then like a wave comes over her and then like Ren gets
Kylo's
wet.
red too. Yeah, he's
And
wet.
which one?
In
Last Jedi. You never
Oh,
saw
that's
that?
it.
They were interacting back then, where she would be on the
What's when
on
they first
Octu
introduced
on the
it?
island.
Oh yeah, his hand's all wet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also when they
That's how
touch,
they-
like,
yeah, that's when-
they actually like.
I thought that was
Ren's
a mind
with her.
thing.
No, well, why would Luke lose his shit if he didn't see both of them connect like that? Then
He just
Yeah.
thought it was a mental connection. But if all of a sudden you can just
like
teleport shit
mental,
left and right,
physical.
you don't even need fucking transports anymore. You just I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm going
Well, I don't-
Alderaan,
I don't
bitches.
think I think it was only physical objects. I don't think it's like your whole being.
Yeah, I think it's just like small things around
Yeah.
you. Which also they
That
don't
part was
explain.
cool, though.
And
But
that
the
was
whole
explained because
lightsaber
apparently,
part, that
like
shit was lit.
there's also another new thing that's basically a throwaway line that they're a dyad in the Force.
The
Like,
what
did you
now?
guys not hear that in the movie? Really?
No.
What?
Well, that's
Sorry.
that's how it's explained. The reason why they're so strong and why they're linked like that is because they're a dyad. So
Yeah,
since
he said that. Yeah,
one's super
yeah.
strong and the other one's like basically they're both like the chosen ones of the universe, where one's a Skywalker and the other one's a Palpatine. Like they're the strongest ones, and that's why they're so strong because
Yeah.
they're linked together by their own family and their bloodline and their connection to the Force.
Yeah.
And that's called a dyad. So that's
Yeah.
why they're the only ones that are confirmed to be able to interact like that.
So the Kenobis aren't strong.
No, I guess not.
So this is a shoehorn thing. Last second, gotcha. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
there was a bunch of things that are like throwaway lines that are like they just give you answers to questions. Like, oh, you heard that? All right, here's the next question that's answered. It's like bullet points. Like they just put bullet points in the movie, and if you don't hear it, then you kind of like, what the fuck? Like you get like screwed over because you don't get the explanation that you want, and they don't really touch on it again. Like literally the whole paragraph, the scrawling title that they always do, it explains probably like the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the death speak. The first sentence you're like, wait, what? And it's like, oh, Palpatine, and then it's like, oh, Kylo's gonna go and hunt down Palpatine, and you're like, oh no, he's not, and then he kills him, and you're like, oh, cool.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah.
Dude, how'd he get like a whole like choir just to sing for him?
That was fire.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That
He
was
just had a
sick.
bunch of fucking people in the background.
I want to be
Like they were
that
all
guy.
just him. They're like,
Honestly, like
Palpatine had so much spare time, he made statues of the fucking Sith. Just
For real.
just right there, just
I
chilling.
Just him in a corner. Like, I'm kind of bored. I wonder what I'll do today.
Exegol.
come to me on X.
honestly, I wish The Last Jedi was because
Not
J.J.
good.
Abrams was. Well, yeah, that too. But I'm honestly, if J.J. Abrams had
Written in it.
well, because apparently at first he wasn't gonna be the one to do all three because he's not the kind of person to like stick to a series
You should.
unless it's like Star Trek. I
He
guess.
didn't, he didn't stick around for the third one.
No, yeah, well, yeah. See, like he's
He
like
doesn't
he's,
do-
he's
yeah.
like Valve. Like they only do 2.
So we're getting Half-Life 3, baby.
Yeah, but it's in VR.
There's
so,
no number 3. There's
Everyone's considering it number 3 though.
I know. Anyways, but yeah, he wasn't. If he had originally signed up for a 3-movie trilogy, it would have been okay, and he could have gotten everything away
Oh
with
yeah,
it.
no,
but
yeah, for sure.
Disney and him, since they had a falling out, basically he kind of like handed over the reins, and the reins were poorly handled. So honestly, I mean that's all. That's kind of what we kind of get. Like this trilogy has like the least amount of I don't know, like they don't sync well. Like as the other ones, at least the other ones had a sense of direction.
the story flows together.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's fractured.
The trilogy is a car ride, you know. All the
Yeah.
characters are in this car, and Ryan Johnson was taking us down this one path, and then
He's like, oh, this is a shortcut. And
Sorry,
then
and
they
J.J.
go,
Abrams was driving, and then he parks. Ryan Johnson gets in, you know, and then he just fucking batters the fucking
Throw some people out of the car.
He kicks out some people out of the car, and then he shows up back at the stop point for JJ. He's like, "Here you go."
JJ has to like drive back, pick up some of the characters.
He has to go back, and then it's just like, oh fuck, man.
Do you guys have any unanswered questions from the film?
Thousands, obviously.
yeah.
What happened to Babu Freak?
Babu,
Come on, he's in
movie?
Zora's airplane or
No.
whatever in the Y wing.
When he screams?
Bible free.
I love him.
Okay, so unanswered questions.
Where's Jar Jar?
I'll probably do my top 3. Probably still the origins and the reasons for the existence of the Knights of Ren.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the Knights
yeah.
of
Oh,
Ren.
yeah,
the
they're
Knights
kinda
of
waste,
Ren.
no?
Knights of Ren were
Kind of a
fun.
waste.
Yeah.
What they were.
They are a waste.
Oh,
The
They're
definition
just
of Knights of Ren is
basically like stormtroopers with
Uh-huh.
like same fucking like armor.
They're
They're
it's weird.
stormtroopers without guns for some fucking reason. They just
No,
use swords.
two have guns, but they're still killed in the first couple of seconds. But
just
number
look
2,
badass.
I think the fact that Palpatine had a family when like no one else.
Yeah, no
that's
one-
never
Oh,
been in all the
yeah.
comics and all the books.
no
it's
one
never even
mentioned.
been touched that he had sex with anybody. Or,
Yeah.
Look
anything
at him.
like
He's
that.
so
was me.
old and
And
nasty.
then
He had sex with Anakin's mom.
Oh.
no, actually in the comics he just like
he just forced it.
yeah.
I know.
And then in the fucking and then the last one is like who kept them alive? Like all those like weird blinded people in Palpatine's like area
Yeah.
where they're like fixing them,
No.
and then all the robed people and like in
Where'd they
like,
get
all of
food,
that.
huh?
Where do they come from and what are they and who are they and like what's the point of
So-
them?
That's the most important
so
question we need to
basically
ask is
everything on
where did the
Exegol.
1,000 fucking Star Destroyers come from?
Control.
Yeah, it came
water.
out of the ground. Like that
Yeah,
was
you know.
that was crazy too.
You know, you just make them out of your ass, pull them out of your ass, and then there you go.
What, you gonna do that?
We'll just give them Death Star. We'll give them
Doesn't
Death
that
Star weapons.
storyline kind of screw over like the contingency plans that he made, like the Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign and like the other books? Like he made all these plans because everyone thought he was dead, and then he's like, "Never mind, I've been here the whole time." Like, why didn't he interfere with his like plans?
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't read the movies, the video games and the books.
I have a question. Remember?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Was it when Finn wanted to ask Rey?
No, it's not love. It's not love. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
never mind. I'll shut up now.
Everyone
JJ
thought that
already-
JJ and Finn had both
on
came
Twitter,
out and
he
said
already announced it.
Not force
That he's force sensitive.
force sensitive, and I thought that was actually it wasn't obvious, but I could tell that was the case.
Yeah.
Because when
And then later on in the movie,
I
it's
forgot
more
who
obvious.
died or somebody.
Ray died.
Ray dies and he's
he
like,
sensed
"Whoa!"
it. Yeah, he could feel it. Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's how I knew. Like, oh, he's probably at first. The first time he was like, Ray, I have to tell you something. I thought he was like,
I love
you're
you.
white and I want you. You know,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah,
like,
I thought so too. And then
Let me clap them cheeks before you die.
Yeah, I thought that was the case, and that would have been like, I mean, a little bit out of place, but I mean, yeah, sure, why not? But then he was, and then I saw him clutching himself when she died. I'm like, oh,
Force
force
sensitive.
sensitive.
yeah,
Why couldn't this been the thing in the first movie?
Yeah.
Why couldn't we keep Captain Phasma alive for one more movie?
Oh,
For
yeah, I
real.
forgosh
And
he
then when they're
exists.
fighting, he needs to
Yeah.
use the force to kill her. Oh,
That would've
been
cool.
sick.
That would have been dope. But there was already too much going on in this movie.
Yeah, there's
but I don't care. I want it. I
Dude,
way
want
too
more.
many
Don't you just love it when a dagger is designed to find the holocron and the Death Star that's perfectly placed into the ocean?
yeah. That's the biggest plot. That and I think the two most things that got me like, what the hell? Like, was that like after the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, this is all right. Like it kind of flew past me, but then the second time I was like, it's in the water. She just so happened to be in the most perfect spot in the perfect time and place.
Yep.
It was like so coincidental. And then the other part was when they switched the antenna to the Star Destroyer, and out of all the millions of Star Destroyers, Finn's like, oh, that one, that one. And he's like, and then the girl's like, how'd you know that? You're fucking weird. He's like, I got a feeling. I was like, no. Me and my cousin looked at each other. We're like, yo, they did not just do that.
They didn't. I feel like Abrams didn't know what to do with Finn
Yeah.
after Phasma was like, well, I can't bring Phasma back.
Yeah.
Like,
I already brought Palpatine. I can't just bring another fucking
Honestly.
bad guy out of nowhere.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm gonna bring back Mace Windu just to like
Wow.
save the day.
Yeah, those two things were probably the biggest things that annoyed me in this movie. But
Yeah.
that being said, Last Jedi still had way more things that were like,
Yeah.
oh,
we don't talk about that as
Yeah.
Jedi.
And like that's the funniest thing too. Like, why did they need a signal to all travel? Like, can they not move independently?
True.
Mm.
Is this really a big problem
That was
for
really
them?
weird. You need one antenna for 1 million Star Destroyers.
And then if you don't have the antenna, you just casually have one on the main ship.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Wait,
Yeah,
you don't
just
have one?
casually.
yeah, it was really.
Can we get some peace from my man Hux? Press F.
I am the spy.
I'm the spy.
I don't care if you win.
I just care if Kylo loses.
His character was okay. I mean, I liked him. I really liked him in Force Awakens, but
He did play the Hitler part in.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
played-
yeah.
he did really good in that.
Summary of Hux:
His-
Hitler beat down, spy dead. That's his whole arc.
I like
Yeah.
the part when he said, shoot me on my arm, but shoots him in the leg. I
Yeah,
thought
I was
that was
like,
funny.
that was fucked up. But his character arc was like, he was the highest, and then he went all the way down to freaking basically to the lowest point where he has to go collude with the enemy in order to get back at his.
He pulled a fucking
rival.
he pulled a voter during the 2016
If
election.
you
That's
guys
what he
think
did.
about it, if it wasn't for Hux,
True.
yeah,
True.
Chewbacca
I love-
would have died.
Oh my
Dude.
god, that scene!
I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
wow, they went for it, dope. And
I
then they-
almost cried.
Dope. What do you mean? I want him to
Everyone, the
die.
whole movie, the whole theater got quiet.
There's never consequences in these films.
Yeah.
So when they did it, I was so like, wow, they actually like went for it.
Yeah.
And then they went back on.
It's kind of
Yeah,
weird how like
literally
a
the
character
next
dies and
scene.
then bring him back. A character dies, brings him
No,
back.
that's the thing. If they had held this out for a little bit longer, then maybe there wouldn't have been an effect. But they literally showed him 10 minutes later.
No, it
Good,
was like
dude.
10 seconds later. It was,
It
literally
was
the
so
next scene.
quick. It was literally the next moment that we see that, oh, he's alive.
Yeah.
She's not punning. She's like, Chewbacca, I feel him on the ship.
You know, he's hairy, so he's obviously, hiding something. under.
Jesus Christ, Rodrigo.
One thing's for sure, like I know you don't like the acting at all, but I think Daisy Ridley did a lot better than the last two
No,
films.
oh, dude,
Yeah.
I love the acting. There was just some characters.
The acting is good, but the scripts are.
Oh,
what they're given is not good.
The worst script was probably Finn's. That's why he left
Yeah.
it. Maybe that's why he left it.
Ray!
That's half his script. It's almost as bad as I don't want it.
Oh
She's my
God.
queen.
Jesus Christ! Come on.
I think D&D wrote this one, dude. Honestly, I think they wrote Finn.
Well, they dropped out of the next three.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they rushed up fucking Game of Thrones just to do Star Wars, and then they just dropped it. Like, oh,
That's kind of sad.
Nah, we're okay. We don't want to do anything anymore.
yeah, I don't want D&D.
I feel like if they wrote this one, they actually would have killed Chewbacca.
Yeah.
They would have done it just to seem cool and hip, you know. We should get fucking George R.R. Martin to write a fucking book for Star Wars. He just kill everybody left and right.
In a million years, he'll finish it.
They have like 2 more.
Yeah,
He only
something
And then
like
plus
that.
another like video game.
I mean, he only has about a year and a half left in his life anyway, so
Jeez.
Jesus
They're
Christ.
about to-
he's not gonna last that long, bro. He just got married too. Like,
But another question I had was, so they confirmed that Starkiller Base was on the planet, yeah, where they
Ilum.
used the kyber crystals.
oh shit,
for
really? That was the actual confirmation for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It was
that's insane.
everything that's canon, that's new. He's basically in the visual storybook.
Oh
for,
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I heard about
the
that.
Rise of Skywalker.
For example, one of the coolest things I
Darth
ever
Revan
learned.
being confirmed.
Darth Revan's
canon.
confirmed. The cooler part is the fact that that first planet I didn't know was Mustafar.
Where
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the what the hell is it? The Wayfinder is in Darth Vader's
His
castle.
Castle.
His
Mustafar?
castle, and that's where he's getting it from.
Yeah.
His castle, which I thought was fucking dope.
So
Has a
so
castle? Fuck.
so for
Have you guys
the
seen Rogue One?
Yeah, I have.
That's the castle.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, GG. I didn't know that.
Fucking dope.
so for Starkiller
Sorry.
Base, they use like the crystals to
Yeah.
use
Kyber crystals
to
is
power the
basically the-
laser, right?
It's
Yeah.
exactly the same thing as the Death Star. They
So
mine
how would the
crystals.
Jedi make new lightsabers
What do you mean?
Yes.
if you need kyber crystals?
You would go
Um,
into the caves and you would find them when it calls.
Yeah,
to
but
you.
the planet's destroyed.
Yeah, but
Oh,
this is
that's- it's
also
over.
explained in Rebels, where they go to a Jedi temple on a certain planet. I think Ezra and Kanan, they go to a Jedi temple on Lothal, which is Ezra's home planet, and he basically finds a kyber crystal inside there in the Jedi temple. So I guess it's like any Jedi temple, but the majority of where all Jedis go is
The tradition was going to Ilum.
Ilum. Yeah.
Going to Ilum.
That's
Natural Crystal.
broken. They just have like another cache somewhere.
That's broken.
At this point, it kind of has to be the case. At this, I think with this one, they can't rebuild a Jedi Order
No.
because it's just like
I don't think so.
Just
The,
wait.
the only
for it.
thing they have
Just-
is the text and
Well,
Rey,
Yeah,
and that's it, right?
yeah. They have the text and Rey, but like, and I'm sure she can use the Jedi ghosts to like to help her teach. But
And then on the
Yeah,
next one,
but-
they're like, "Yeah, Kylo Ren force pregnated her. She had 10 children."
Holy shit.
and the next movie they were just like, oh, before when Rey was asleep.
Oh my
Like,
They're gonna pull a baby out of somewhere. No, but if you guys remember, if anything, the new movie, I think it's gonna be with that little kid at the end of.
I hope not.
Please, no.
They think they
Kill him
confirm-
off.
They confirm what the next one's gonna be. The next trilogy,
What is it?
Isn't it supposed to be a prequel?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that
okay.
is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Old Republic. We're going far back,
Yeah, thank
and
God.
I really hope we see Revan. I
I
would be
mean, I
so
wouldn't doubt
happy
it.
if we see Keanu Reeves as Revan.
I mean, that's a dream. That's
But
a
I don't.
fever dream.
But I don't think Keanu would take it.
No,
It just I don't think it fits for him.
he's not that kind of actor. Like, he doesn't like doing reoccurring things unless it's like his personal endeavor.
Unless
John
he
Wick.
chooses like. he
'Cause you
wants to
never-
do it.
I think
You-
we have enough John Wick.
Because basically, there's been reports where
They're making
Marvel
another one,
kept on
honestly.
coming to him for his
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight or Namor. Basically, were like the top
and he
nominations
hasn't
for
said
him,
anything for him. Yeah.
and he keeps on pushing him off because he doesn't want to. Because
Yeah.
he already knows that that'll be like 10 years of his life, which he's like what 54, something like that.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that's
doesn't
pretty
want to be
good.
doing.
He's
He doesn't
54
want to
and
That's
he's
pretty
still
good
doing
for
fucking
54.
action movies,
Yeah.
dude. Jesus
Yeah, hell
Christ.
yeah, and he's pulling.
But
he's
he's
do his own
amazing.
stunts
kicking its
too.
ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, my
Yeah,
man.
it's pretty goddamn amazing, you know.
Mhm.
Unless it's a very big stunt, like the one where he falls off the balcony in
John Wick.
John Wick 1.
Oh, John Wick 1.
Yeah, the first one.
The
When he
balcony?
falls off, no, it's not a balcony. The
Oh,
top,
the club.
the second floor of the club. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
the second floor. Yeah, I remember that.
He just falls off, and the thing is, the beginning of the fall all the way to the ground is somebody else, and he just does the very end of it.
Yeah.
So that when he lands, you see it's him.
Nice.
It's actually really good. You can see the cut though, but it's just like Keanu. If we could have him, that'd be great. But I don't think he'd actually do it.
No.
Mm.
But that's the next. I heard that's the next trilogy.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
There's a
interesting.
bunch of debates. So apparently the writers from Game of Thrones were supposed to be doing their own thing,
Supposedly
and I
they
think it
were.
was supposed to be the Knights of the Old Republic, but
I want Bioware.
Bioware.
I want them to write it. As long as they don't get the team who did the anthem, we should be good.
true. Good point.
One small thing we should talk about, I think, is
Babu freak.
we
You stop with bubble.
not something that we should like.
Chewie represents the whole Twitter community of Star Wars fans. Like, Babu Frick, baby Yoda, Babu Frick.
Porgs.
Shut up. I like pork.
He's all that little children in the theater.
Exactly.
He's a porn.
Baby Yoda. So
Nah.
the Baby Yoda show. I'm kidding.
No.
But one thing that we have to I think we should talk about a little bit is something that they had no way of working around, obviously, and that was Leia.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
Definitely.
CGI
The
part
CGI
was kind of poo-poo. No.
Well, the CGI
Really?
with
I
her
thought it
fighting
was
against
really good.
against Luke. Remember
Yeah,
the fight?
that
Yeah,
was-
against
that
Luke,
one
where
looked
she
a
pulls
little-
up her mask. Yeah,
That was utter
Luke
shit.
looked fucking sick. Like I was
Mhm.
like, holy shit, they got young Mark Hamill, and then when Leia pulls out, I'm like, oh.
That
Carrie
were both
Fisher.
pretty bad.
I heard
Fisher was
Andre
almost
just
so
go like,
good.
"What the fuck is
Yeah.
this?"
That's how I felt when I saw it at the end of Rogue One. I was like, oh my god. I
Really, I thought that one looked decent.
No,
Rogue One
That one was
scary.
better. That one was better.
It was
than
better
this
than
one.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
It wasn't great because it was very soft, you know.
Yeah, it
but
was dark. They did it in the dark, which
It
was
was
good. It's easier
definitely
to do that.
better. Although the new one isn't that great either.
No,
Both of them look pretty bad.
Yeah.
When they're fighting, or like when she was the Force Ghost.
both.
Both.
Yeah.
But no, but I'm talking about Leia alive in the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her story.
Two problems. First of all, obviously they couldn't work with a lot because they had to reuse lines that they had from
lines and
extra
scenes.
things, and they had to kind of CGI her in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can clearly see that she CGI'd in.
yeah.
The worst thing, I think, the biggest problem they had, if you can tell, I'm pretty sure you did, the audio. The audio and recording her voice,
Was bad.
it sounded tinny because they were reusing old footage. It didn't sound anywhere near as good as
I need to
anybody else's.
rewatch it again.
So
just-
the only point in the movie where I actually got kind of teary eyed was when
When she
Ray
died?
it's like near the beginning when Ray first hugs her and then Ray starts crying.
Yeah.
It's
That was the scene that you look. That is the Force place.
like that's
Yeah,
like
that's it, yeah.
That's the
yeah.
shit that they break.
that
Gorgeous
scene was a
scene,
little tough. But I thought it was okay. Like they did what they can.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know,
Yeah,
with
they
the footage
they
they
worked with
had.
what they had, obviously. And J.J. Abrams, I know for a fact he didn't want to overuse her because she's passed away. They didn't want to, torture her. And the thing is, the way they sent her off was, I thought, was the best way they could possibly do it.
Beautiful.
I think it was the
amazing?
only
No,
way they
it was
could.
the only way they could have done it.
Yeah.
And I think it's absolutely fitting that her character dies
With her son.
to save her son. You know?
Yeah.
And then she actually fully disappears with her son, and it's just like, wow.
Which was really cute. I thought it was. I got a little emotional.
Well done, Abrams. You pulled
Thank
that
you.
off. Like, I know you didn't
F
have a
in the
lot.
chat.
F in the
Can we
chat
get
for
an F
Princess
in the
Leia.
chat? But yeah, other
Yeah.
people I love how a lot of people, whenever I watch them talk about it, they always talk about like, oh my god, this movie is just all over the place, and at the very end they're always like, but I know why. You know, they understand that
Everyone understands, whereas in The Last Jedi, everyone's like, what the fuck is this
fuck?
shit?
you had anywhere to go.
Yeah,
we have
you went here.
we
You
have a
put us
pie
in a corner.
We have a pie chart right here, and this is where you didn't need to go, and you chose here. Like, it's just like, of all the places, fucker. Like, come on, really?
I rewatched the movie and I'm like, wow, this is garbage. Like, I forgot how shitty it is.
It looks beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
my
It
God.
does.
The
There
guy,
was so many scenes that were
what's
like,
his name? Ryan, cinematographer, fucking great.
Good job.
Amazing.
I like the scene. What was it when they're? I'm sorry, I don't know my planets, but when they're in the red planet with the red salt, I thought that scene was pretty cool.
Crate.
Oh,
Crate,
great.
there you go, Crate.
Jesus
With,
Christ.
Sorry, I'm
Gareth-
sorry. I'm
with-
sorry.
And Gareth Edwards is in one of the trenches as one of the soldiers.
Hmm.
I was just
When
like,
Mark Hamill goes, I'm a ghost.
he's like, I'm a ghost, but I'm not a ghost.
yeah, I'm not yet.
Yeah, give me a couple seconds. I called it too at the very end when she was gonna leave, when she was gonna head somewhere to Tatooine. I was like, this movie's gonna end with a binary sunset, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank God.
Also, that's like
that was another
the
fan
kind of
service too.
tradition.
I thought
Yeah.
that was perfect
Yeah.
that they ended it right where it
That was really
began,
good.
and I'm talking about where it began.
Yeah.
On
Mhm.
his
New Hope.
Tatooine.
and on Tatooine
Oh,
at his
yeah,
house
she,
with the
uh,
binary sunset.
Yeah.
What did she do? I forgot what she did.
She buried the
Oh,
There you
lightsaber.
go.
another scene. Another scene.
Can we talk about how-
Chewbacca gets a medal? Chewbacca
Yes!
gets a medal.
I was so I saw it. That's the one. That's
Yeah.
the biggest fan service.
Yeah.
That's
True.
the big. I was wrong. Voices. Fuck that. Chewie gets a goddamn. I thought that was so on the cheek.
Yeah,
And she's
that
like-
was the biggest Easter egg I think for most Star Wars fans.
Yeah, and then she was like,
Ever
Chewie,
since the 70s, where's
Chewie.
Chewie's medal?
Chewie, this is yours, Chewie. He's like,
Yeah.
"Ooh,"
It's like,
I'm
my
like,
fucking
"Yes!"
medal.
I
He got his
clapped.
medal.
I clapped in that scene.
I was so happy
So
he
sick.
finally got his medal. Oh my god, I forgot. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
no, like when you said that, I was like, oh, because I was thinking about Endor for some reason.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a sec.
I mean, Endor is in the movie, little Ewoks.
Oh yeah, and you go,
And you just see the Star Destroyer.
I
just
forget his
falling
name.
apart.
The guy that from Willow. What's his name? The little small person. Like, cause you can't say midget,
Midget?
anymore.
Wait, why? You can't say
No,
midget.
you
no,
can.
it's
You
like
can.
the.
It's like the N-word.
we use
Basi-
the word Peter
Like the N-word.
Dinklage.
No, it's just it's bad. Yeah, it's a small person. The original one that plays The guy from Willow, he plays.
Me.
No, he's
pass
dead.
away this
Yeah,
year?
he's
Yeah.
dead. He died like 2 years ago or something. But yeah,
Aw.
the original one comes back. He was in Rogue One, the little small person. No, okay, whatever. Never mind.
I'm sorry.
My
I don't
point's
know.
invalid.
No, it's okay. I get you.
I'm trying to remember who you're talking about. I'm sorry.
I forget his name. I'll look him up.
What if I just Google midget from Willow?
Honestly, you'll get his name. I forget what his name is.
The guy who's like shooting the guy like ah.
No, he comes back and
Babu
he plays the he played the original Ewok Wicket, and then he comes back and he's still Wicket.
Oh,
And his actual son is the actual son of Wicket too. So it's like dad and son.
That's fucking.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh.
wow, that's sick.
That's sick, dude. But disrespect to Anakin, dude. She buries his lightsaber in the sand.
Yeah,
I hate
dude.
that.
All the memes came out after that movie
I
came
hate
out. I was like,
sand.
oh my god, you're kidding me.
In the sand.
Why would she bury
Oh,
his lightsaber?
Something that also was dumb is at the end of you know when Kylo Ren and Rey are fighting over the lightsaber and then
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
break
they
it.
break it, and
and
then
they
now
just-
that she has it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know they explained it. Basically, she rebuilt it like by looking at the books, like on how to rebuild like the kyber crystal and everything.
Wait,
Wow,
you can't rebuild the kyber crystals. What
that's
the fuck?
trippy.
She rebuilt it.
Let's go.
I mean, if you can bleed a kyber crystal, then I guess you can rebuild a kyber crystal.
Well, bleeding is destroying. You can't fix it.
No, she fixed it. She
okay,
because
I mean-
the book said how to
If
fix
the
a
book
lightsaber,
says it-
and it's her first time doing it, and she did it.
If they
Okay.
explain that she fixed it, then I can't argue against it. Then.
I guess. I don't.
I'm in awe. She just fixed a kyber crystal, you know? Like,
Well, you
damn.
don't do that?
No.
It's like Sully in the Monsters Inc. when he rebuilds the door. That's
It's like,
what she
that's
did.
illegal.
Wait, that's illegal. This is the way. But like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then that's how they finished it off back right where we started, which I thought was a perfect send off to the
Series as a whole.
to as best of a finale to the series as a
True.
whole as they could have done.
Which I'm satisfied, kind of.
I'm
You know.
okay.
I'm all right with it, you know.
I'll change some things,
What
but
things for like in terms of character
Everyone will
and
change
character
some
stuff?
things.
Obviously, everyone with characters changes things.
take off the Last Jedi and just make something else.
Yeah, make this into 2 movies and
Mhm.
All right, guys. In 20 years, okay, let's all agree to start a petition to get rid of it, and we make our own.
Mhm.
It's good.
Oh yeah, like we can make our own.
Yeah, easy, bro. I
Hey,
already have a script.
there was a fucking Kickstarter to give money to make another episode.
Didn't it raise like $2 million?
It made
It
enough.
did make a lot of money.
It made a
Yeah.
lot of money. It made enough for a small budget short film in between.
Which is
Okay.
what later. Was that
Which I'm actually hyped for. I'm waiting for Kenobi.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
but they
the
make it into a
series?
show, so I'm not
Yeah.
happy. But oh well,
You're not happy about a show?
I want
I am.
You get more of it. What the fuck?
Isn't
No.
there like 6 episodes
No, I want a movie.
You're insane.
Oh my god, look at me
We'll
so
get
aggressively.
6 episodes. 6 episodes, half hour max.
More is not better,
That's-
my friends. I'm sorry to say.
Well, it has more room to put more context and more stuff into it than a movie
Well, you
would.
haven't seen The Mandalorian, my friend.
Oh,
Damn.
I do want
Which
more
is
of.
only 8 episodes compared to TV shows who are usually like 24.
Yeah, they're just like the minutes, like it's like 30 minutes
Plus, they had
long.
Jon
Each
Favreau.
varies.
Then one's like 50 minutes long. So
Mhm.
the guy that made Chef.
yeah,
It's a good movie.
Well, he's also the guy who wrote Iron Man 1 and 2, so.
I didn't know he was
And,
in Rogue One.
He is?
Yeah, he's
Jon
the
Favreau?
yeah, he's like the I don't know what it's called, like the 4-armed little alien at the
I
beginning.
figured it because his voice sounds just
Yeah,
like
I was rewatching Rogue One. I was like, oh,
Rogue
Dude,
One?
did you know that Mark?
Aren't you getting confused
forget
with
that.
Solo?
Solo. I'm sorry, not Rogue One.
Yeah.
Solo
Solo,
arm
sorry.
thing in Solo?
Yeah. The,
The-
dude that got
It's
killed.
in
driver, the
Mandalorian
driver,
for like 2
the
seconds.
flyer,
It's
the
like at the
flyboy.
prison.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
Oh my god, how did I not catch that?
His voice is like
The
kinda-
monkey
His
thing.
voice,
Yeah, the
yeah.
monkey
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
his voice.
I don't know
yeah.
his species.
Huh.
I'm sorry. I don't know none
Yeah,
of my
I
I
species.
forgot
for
about that.
it.
Oh, I forget what the name was too. They mention it, but I forget.
Yeah, I'm sure they
That's
do.
basically what
The guy
Babu
who plays
Frick is.
he plays Rio.
There's something similar to that species in Fallen Order.
Oh yeah.
No
What-
spoilers.
what are you,
I haven't,
virgin?
I haven't played.
I
I
haven't
haven't
touched it
played.
either.
What do he play? This thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it is the
Yeah,
same.
so
It is
I
the same
can
species.
say-
I think.
yeah.
Can you put on the screen, please?
Babu Frick.
In the background.
But
General
we
Grievous.
have a hell of a future for Star Wars. Obviously, I don't think
Mhm.
they're slowing down
Of course.
anytime soon.
Thank God.
Aren't they taking a break though?
They are
Well,
taking
yeah,
quite
they're taking a
break,
big
which is
ass
a good
break.
thing.
2022.
Well, they're waiting though for movies. 2022. But
Yeah.
we're
Okay.
getting season 2 in fall.
Yeah,
of
fall
Mandalorian.
of 2020.
Star Wars: The Clone Wars season 6, I think.
It's
Oh, yeah.
coming soon
February.
as well. February.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's a
We
nice
are
birthday
not in any
present.
shortage.
Nope.
So
Good.
we have plenty of content for the future.
Good. I'm happy.
Hopefully, it's good content.
I want Babu
I
Frick
mean,
spin-off
Clone
show.
Wars is a given
Clone Wars has
good.
always been a great show.
Mandalorian is a given
which I
good.
trust.
Mm-hmm.
What else are they releasing? Are they releasing
The
anything else? Star
Kenobi
Wars?
shit.
Eventually,
But that's not
Probably
this year,
some
no?
comics.
That's
I thought it was this
I
year.
wanna
Oh,
start reading
not
the comics again. Yeah.
Can we get a Battlefront 3?
No.
Battlefront
Really?
2.
It's just Battlefront 2, but just add Greedo.
No, what's it called? EA's finishing up their contract, I think, with Lucasfilm. So
No.
Oh, good.
yeah,
really?
Yeah, give them to someone else.
Give it-
Let it be free
Give
Give it
market.
to- imagine a Rockstar Star Wars game.
imagine.
Oh,
Oh,
people
no,
always
they-
talk
they-
about
they-
that. That would have
they-
been
nah,
Star Wars 1313.
That's not their forte. Nah, I would have.
They make their own stories. That's
I
why.
would have loved if they would have given it. If they give it to CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red.
That would be a hell of a thing.
Hell yeah.
But they're
Give it
busy
From
with,
Software, please.
I mean, Jedi Fallen Order is kind
I
of.
saw the
like
combat.
a
It
soft
looks
version
like it, yeah.
Of From Software gameplay,
Yeah.
but it's very fun. I like it.
No spoilers.
No, I won't spoil it for you.
Thank you.
Cal Kestis dies. Or does
Oh.
he?
I mean, he probably does.
Or
Knowing-
not?
Knowing you, he probably does.
Probably does.
Jokes on you. I don't even know that character, so fuck you.
It's the main character.
It's okay.
Idiot.
Okay.
Even I know that, and I haven't played the game.
I do like BD though. He's near there.
The little robot. The
They
robot.
should have put him in the
What?
the roll
my,
call.
my sister, she works with like autistic kids.
Oops.
Yeah, huh? And
Okay.
what's the robot in the new movie? I always forget the
Oh.
name. The something O.
Yeah, I
BDO,
know what you're talking
whatever.
about.
The one that's
Beat-
It always
BO
says like
or-
BO something like that.
But yeah,
It
Are we
it
talking
always
about
says like no
the one
thank
that's like,
you.
no thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
The one
Yeah.
that's voiced by JJ.
Yeah, and my sister
Oh,
said
Yeah.
my
Oh,
sister
that's
said
good.
it has autism because it's always saying no thank you, and it's like really like socially awkward.
You're saying I'm autistic.
I mean, it was abused.
Am I autistic?
Oh my God.
I say no, thank you. I'm socially awkward.
robot
Oh,
confirmed
shit.
artistic.
It looks like we're all
Basically, the reason
autistic.
why it acts like that is because it's also confirmed in the comics or the visual aid book is where the guy with the beady eyes, the freaking guy that had the knife, the guy that was like dropping off Ray's parents, that dude basically abused the hell out of the robot. So it's like it has abusive things in its mind. It's like it's like an
jeez.
abused dog,
Ouch.
basically. Yeah,
It's
so
gonna be a
that's why it
murderer
acts
one
like
day.
that. Like it doesn't like people, and it's like all like
Yeah, it's like an abuse.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
the best way to
Yeah.
describe what it is.
No,
yeah.
thank you. F.
But yeah, that's basically our thoughts on
Star Wars.
Rise of Skywalker.
What would you rate out of 10 Babu Freaks?
10 Babu Freaks.
I hate Babu
as
Freaks.
a movie itself, or in comparison to the Last Jedi.
I think as a
What it
movie,
did.
as it's
A movie at its
yeah.
in itself, there's like a lot of inconsistencies. So basically, it's 5. It's just not. It just doesn't hold up because it's too much stuff that's just not right. If you look at it, if I give it the benefit of the doubt, in the case of he had to deal with what he had to deal with, I'm giving it at least a 7.5 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. You, Hill? What would you give
the
it out
same
of 10 Babu
an
Freaks?
8 compared to the whole trilogy because it was like a hard left turn from where it was going, and it was a given, like it had to go that way. So I understand, like I give it like some leverage, so I give it an 8.
But like movie
By
itself.
itself, probably the same thing as Drigo because
5.
I like it, but it's like basically it's like a Marvel movie where it's just eye candy and like the
Yeah.
stories don't really matter.
Yeah,
So
there's
that's
not
why.
about that. You
I'll let people punch in the air right now.
can- 11?
All the people typing on the keyboards, hey, he said it's a fucking Marvel movie. Oh my god! Oh, get his
That's golden. You, Matt, what would you give it out of 10 Babu Freaks?
Out of 10 Babu Freaks, I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Like the movie itself?
With compared with the other trilogies.
A 7 out of 10?
Yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10.
Damn.
Why do you hate The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker? Never mind, my bad. Why do you hate it so much? What did
Wait,
he do
who,
to you?
me or
What?
Matt?
Matt?
Well, that
I mean, I don't
well,
know.
I think that's okay. Well, I don't hate it.
Why not an 8 like me and
Seven's a good
Drigo?
score. Yeah, 7's fine with me, honestly. I said 7.5.
7.5 is somewhere around there.
I give it an
7.5 to 8. You know, it's not bad. You know, just
Change. What would you change?
Can we give Rose less screen time?
Oh my god.
Listen.
You only got an hour, a minute and 12 seconds. Come on, what do you want?
She didn't
I want
even,
12 seconds.
She wasn't.
Oh my god. Jesus
Not even talking
Christ.
here, just getting killed.
She's not that bad, guys. Okay, it wasn't her fault that she was written like Trit.
No, it's her fault.
True.
Fuck her.
Oh my
No,
god.
I'm kidding. No, that was me. That was me.
Another example as to why Chewie represents the whole Twitter community of all the Star Wars fans.
Okay.
Fuck her and kill her.
Yep. That's it. She's a woman. No,
In what-
no,
in
no,
what order?
Jesus. Oh my god.
Whoa.
thanks for listening.
Wait,
to
wait,
the
ask
listing
Chewie what he
ones.
thought.
Oh, what do you think, Chewie?
I think good movie. I'll
Good
give
movie?
it 8
Okay.
out
How
of
many
10.
Babu Freaks?
I'll give it a good 8 Babu Freaks out of
Alright.
10.
The only reason it's 8 because Babu Freak's in it.
Yep. And the Borgs came
And the
out,
Borgs
and the
came
Ewoks
out.
came out. No Baby Yoda. No, I'm kidding. No.
But let's go down. That's a viable. I fucking hate you. Why is that on?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the end?
I guess.
That's all they said.
Thanks for listening. I'm gonna turn you down. Thanks for listening. Check us out in the future. Peace out.
We'll be back next year.
Please comment, please.
Please share.
Bye bye.
Say bye, guys.
Bye guys.